everybody, it's Dani with Move Now and also Gonstead Spine and Wellness. I am here with our team today. We are going to hijack this week's podcast in honor of Dr. Todd's birthday, which is this Thursday, October 6th. We all wanted to wish him a happy birthday, say a couple nice things about him, and just let him know how much we truly appreciate him. So this is going to be episode 282.5.
Hey, Dr. Todd, just want to wish you a happy birthday. Love working with you in the office. I'm so excited to be here. Your passion is inspiring, and I'm so excited to learn even more. Just hope you enjoy your weekend and have a great birthday.
Happy birthday, Dr. Todd. Thank you so much for allowing me to join your team. I love working here and for you and with you. Hope you have a good one.
Hey, Dr. Todd, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Thank you for letting me join your team. It's already been a well-rounded experience for only 3 days I've been here. Last thing though is I wanted to say that you have a very well-groomed beard, but I hope you have a great day.
All right, so this is episode 282.5, the one that we are hijacking for this week. It is Dr. Todd's birthday on Thursday, October 6th. So as a tribute to Dr. Todd, what we are doing is we are just kind of going around having our staff send him a nice little birthday greeting, but the three of us that work the closest with Dr. Todd, and we've also been there the longest at the clinic, decided to get together at my house so we can chit-chat a little bit about Dr. Todd, our experience with him, what it's like working next to him, and then also the friendships that we have built with Dr. Todd along the way since we've been working there at Gonstead. So our setup is a little bit different. You're gonna see us passing around this little microphone back and forth because Dr. Todd is top-notch about audio. So Dr. Todd, thank you. We're extending this one to you and making sure that our audio is on point. So we have to share a microphone. So we're gonna be passing it around here and there so that way you can hear all of us. We're gonna start off with Jenna. Jenna's been there the longest, so I figured we would let her go ahead and tell a little bit about her experience, how she came about working for Dr. Todd, and what it's been like ever since. So pass this off to you.
All right. Okay, here we go. So I started working for Gonstead in February of 2020. So I think that's like, we're about 2.5 years, just a little past 2.5 years now. And I kind of came across the position, like not specifically looking to work for a chiropractor. I was working at a nursing facility at the time and was thinking about going to PA school, and I wanted to get a different type of experience. And so I started looking online for jobs, and this one popped up and it took CNA. So I was like, sweet position, I can use my certification and not work at a nursing facility. And they were taking x-rays. I looked at the website, it just seemed really cool. And I had no experience with chiropractic before. I went to the joint once, like a year or two before, but no experience with chiropractic. And so I applied, and the office manager at the time called me. I feel like it happened all like super fast. So she called me, we interviewed over the phone, and then everything went well. She was like, well, let's set up a Zoom interview with Dr. Todd. Are you free tonight? I was like, sure. Well, that works. So I got on my computer later that day and met with him on Zoom. And it was cool just because, I don't know, like it was just so fast. And one of the first things he said, he was like, oh, I see your resume says you're from Simi Valley, which is in California. I was like, yeah. And I don't know, I think it's a small town. It's not really, now that I live in Idaho and actually live in a small town, but he was like, oh, that's funny. I'm from Westlake Village, which is literally like the next town over. And so I was like, oh, how fun. Like, that's a cool little connection. But yeah, so we had an interview, and then they were like, yeah, we'll talk about it. And then I think it was the next day or like 2 days later, they called me and they gave me the position. So it was like later that week, I came in and kind of shadowed and walked around and spent a few hours at the clinic. And I don't want to say I was overwhelmed, but I was like, this is a lot. I don't know what this is, but I'm really excited about it. So that, I don't know, it was just a cool beginning. Finished up the 2 weeks at my position, and the girl whose job I actually took over, so I got hired. I was gonna start in 2 weeks, but I only got to shadow her for 2 days before she was out. And so I only had 2 shadow shifts with her, like first experience, like just shadowing her for 2 days, not even 2 full days, had to finish up my other job. And then when I came in, the office manager was scribing and I was like shadowing her, and then Dr. Zach taught me x-ray. And so everything was just kind of like pieced together. And it was a lot, but it was fun. And I was like, this is really cool. I'm learning so much. But then that was in February. So then March 2020, COVID happened. And so everything kind of changed, slowed down, which for me, in my personal experience, it was almost like a small blessing in disguise, in the sense that my position is as scribe, x-ray tech. I didn't even introduce like what I do. Scribe, x-ray tech, and then new patient coordinator. It's like 3 heads in one. And so when COVID hit and everything slowed down dramatically, it was a little bit nice, because I got to take a lot more time to learn everything slower, at a slower pace. Because we all know, like, with how busy the clinic is, the majority of the time, my position is just, I mean, any position there, I feel like everyone has different kind of roles. And so at that time too, I feel like there wasn't even a lot of like cross training going on. Like, it was a lot of, in FM, you only did FM. Traction only did traction. Front desk only did front desk. And then I was kind of doing all these other things. And so I only had Dr. Zach to teach me x-ray, plus Dr. Todd, and then Brandy, the office manager, to teach me scribing. And so it was a lot of like on the fly, learn as we go, make mistakes, learn from Dr. Todd. And that's one thing too, like, even 2.5 years later, I'm still learning. There's still like mistakes that I make. There's still things Dr. Todd has to correct me on, but it's such a sweet relationship and like mentorship. And that's what I always call him. Like, it's more than just a boss. Like, he's like a mentor, and he truly wants to see you succeed. And I felt that from the beginning, or else who knows, like, if I would have been able to stay, I don't know, because it was just a lot. But for me, it was like, oh, I'm in a place that they want me to take on a lot, but they're nurturing and like guiding me through, and they want me to succeed. So that was just the beginning of my time at Gonstead. And then it just kind of flourished into the position it is now, and I've taken on more roles, helping out more with some front desk stuff, more behind the scenes things with auditing the schedule. But overall, yeah, it's just been amazing. And like I said, Dr. Todd is I think of him as a friend. I told Emily yesterday, I was like, oh, I don't know, I just love Dr. Todd. And she's like, me too. Like, you don't get to say that very often about people that you work with.
He's
and
like a giant teddy bear. It's like, he may look like big and burly, but he's a softie.
Yes, and he just like truly cares about not just his patients, but his staff and the people that work for him. I have worked a handful of jobs, whether it's in restaurants, like I mentioned. I worked in a nursing facility. Even my mom, like watching my mom's own experience working in a similar environment for a dentist. Like, it's a small clinic, lots of ladies, very tight knit, but all of the like, I've never had an experience like I've had at Gonstead with Dr. Todd and with our staff. It's just so enjoyable, and like, it just makes you want to succeed and keep learning, keep improving. But that's kind of my start. I don't know if we want to like go into other things, or if you guys want to tell your stuff, or.
Do you want to tell your story, Emily? I don't think we've really ever heard the Emily story.
No.
I love you, Dr. Todd. Happy birthday.
It's been a while, right? It's been a while, year and a half since I've been here.
If you want to hold it, you can hold it, or if you want to clip it onto your wonderful t-shirt.
Sorry, Dr. Todd. You know what? Oh well.
It's Emily.
Exactly.
It's Emily.
They'd be like, I get it. Yep, totally get it.
It's okay.
So I've been with Gonstead. As you guys know, I'm Emily. I've been with Gonstead, whatever. I don't know how to do it. I've been with Gonstead for a little over a year and a half. May was my year mark, and honestly, it feels like I've been with Gonstead so much longer, because
in a good way.
In a good way, yeah, not like like a draining way, but like in a fun, like I'm not doing the same thing every day, and so like I'm always doing something new because I hate sitting still. So when I got hired, I was on Indeed. I was literally driving when I applied for this job. Smart, I know. I was like, okay. Exactly. I was driving, and then within 15 minutes, I get a message on Indeed from Dani, and she was like, "Can I set up a phone interview with you?" I was like, "That was fast." Okay. I was like, "Well, I'm literally on my way to my other job," so I was like, we have an hour before I have to be like sitting in my being at the nursing facility, because I used to do what Jenna did. I've been a CNA for 5 years, and I worked at nursing facilities this entire time. And so I'd never seen it. I've heard of chiropractors, but I never even like attempted to like even look, because I didn't know CNAs could work in a clinic. I was just like, oh, I just have like the basic. So within an hour, I had a phone interview, and then she was like, this was a Friday. The next day, she was like, we're gonna set up a Zoom interview with Dr. Todd on Saturday, and I was like, oh, you guys are doing this like on the weekend? Okay. So I put on like my decent shirt. I was still wearing my shorts. I was like, okay, hoping that hoping that the dog that I was dog sitting at the time would like shut it, because she was a husky puppy. So I was just like, tried to make it through. And the interview ended up, it wasn't, honestly, in my opinion, it wasn't even like an interview. He asked me a couple questions for like 15 minutes, and then it was like another 45 minutes of just like talking to get to know you, because I don't know. I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
I really
liked
liked
it. Casual. He's very personable when you talk to him, whether it's on Zoom or in person. Like, he actually is very personable. When he talks to you, he wants to get to know you. He's genuinely invested in the conversation. And when I personally did my Zoom interview with him, I think we were on the phone for close to 2 hours.
Yep.
I was sitting on my bedroom floor. I grabbed my laptop, or I think I was doing it on my cell phone actually, a quick little Zoom interview with him, and I was sitting on the bedroom floor because all the kids were out here, and my husband had popped in a couple times to see if I was still on the phone, and I'm like,
go away.
It's a good conversation. And so he is genuinely invested in every conversation that he has with people, getting to know somebody, and then also educating them on what we do, what he does, the purpose behind it all.
Yeah, because truthfully, I hadn't even looked at, because I didn't like have enough time between the time I applied to the time I interviewed with him, because I went straight to worked till like 11 o'clock at night, and then I went home and had the Zoom interview the next morning. So I didn't even have time to go look at the website and see what this was about. I was just like, okay, cool, new experience. So I applied. I got hired. It was that same Saturday. I got the call a couple hours later. I didn't start like in the clinic. I didn't even have like a working interview, because at the time I'd gotten my second COVID shot. Thanks, St. Luke's. We don't want to talk about that.
Emily was in quarantine for 2 weeks before she started, so our handy dandy online training portal came into play.
It sure did. Yes. I took so many notes, and so like when I walked in, because the first time I think I'd met like all the staff was they invited me to go work out. We used to do team workouts with each other. You texted me.
You were getting ready for your wedding.
Yes. We were.
I remember like just barely getting to know you, and I was like, by the way, I'm gonna be gone
for
like
10 days.
3 weeks. I'm getting married. I'm going on a honeymoon, and you're like, oh.
Like, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, a lot is happening all at once.
And not to like, that for someone new coming in, since I'm like a seasoned vet there, and I do so much, she was like, oh, you're leaving.
It's like, I'm scared, okay. So when so I was on quarantine for 2 weeks, and then I got invited to do like a staff workout, and that's when I met Audrey, who worked with us at the time. I met you, Dr. Zach, April, who worked with us, and I met the rest of this team, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, so I didn't even have a working interview like our new hires do now, where they come in and they shadow us for a little bit. I was just kind of thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, it just worked out.
Yeah. And so I think my original position when I first started was traction. So they trained me for traction because I was covering for someone that was on maternity leave. And so they wanted Helena. They trained me so that way Helena didn't have to do traction and front desk, so she was primarily front desk. So then I took over traction. Sierra came back for like a week, and then she left. I think it was like 3 weeks after I started. It was like right before you went on your honeymoon, because you were training her and Audrey into doing re-exams, and then she just up and ditched. We're like, okay, cool, whatever. And then fun little fact, I got started in exercise, which is now my primary position as the exercise therapist. I got started because Audrey was going to Spain for 10 days, or for like 2 weeks, 6 weeks later. So they're like, hey, now that you're good in traction, you're going to spend as much time in FM as possible. You have 5 weeks to learn this department. I was like, huh?
Well, and then I remember you met Dr. Todd on a Saturday, and you guys
Mhm.
did a training,
Mhm.
and you filmed it and stuff. Because then I think it went into our training portal, but it was
It
on
did.
postural
Yeah.
electives.
It's on our YouTube too.
And
and-
it's on YouTube,
Yeah, but
'Cause-
that was cool because you came in and then immediately you were like, oh yeah, meeting. I don't even know if I knew it was that Saturday or the next Monday, but you're like, I'm either meeting Dr. Todd on Saturday or is the next week, and you were like, yeah, we met on Saturday. I was like, good for you.
Yeah, because
love that.
because he was asking me, because like he came up to me and he was like, so how's the training going? Because at one point I was like frustrated with the training because I was like, something's not clicking. And so he took me aside and he's like, what's going on? Like he got like personal with me, which was probably it was a game changer.
Yeah.
So then we came in on a Saturday and everything just went smoothly with the training from there. I was like, okay. As soon as Audrey left, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I can be on my own. So then I became the exercise therapist because David at the time was working back there, and then Audrey was going to need help because we were busy at the time. So we needed so many people per department, and then I just kind of fell in love with the exercise department. And then just recently, I went to take that Dr. Todd paid for me to go take a class with Czar, the kettlebell instructor.
Yeah.
And that just like solidified. I was like, okay, I really do like this job. It's been, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been a rough, like rocky, year and a half. But I think the last like 6 months, a lot has changed with both me and him, because me and him finally had a breakthrough, and it was beautiful. I was like, okay, you are just this big giant soft teddy bear. I just need to actually talk to you about things instead of just like holding it in and just being grumpy about everything. Because that was a big thing. Like I had attitude problems for the longest time. And I can't tell you how many times you had to sit me down. You're like, Emily, knock it off.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right.
Well, and that's one thing that we talk about too when we train, when we meet as a team, even just like one-on-one, me and Dr. Todd, you and Dr. Todd, even like in our small groups. We always talk about how he helps us, and he wants to help us, and he even says this too, like he wants to coach on communication. Like it's more than just our personal success in the clinic as his employees, helping him run his business. But it's also, he wants to help us know how to communicate not only with patients but with one another. And we talk about it like on a personal level too, like when we're at home, when we're with our families, when we're with our friends, like in our own professional, lives, just the importance of how to communicate. And I think we all each individually have learned different skills in that, but he is just so much more than just like clinic manager or clinic owner, owning the business.
Yeah.
So
You just have to talk to him.
But I mean, that's what you're saying, where like he's truly like genuinely invested in people as a whole, whether they're like a patient, an employee, anything like that. So we have so many training resources available to us there, but the things that are like life skills, as far as like extreme ownership, is like one of the big things that he talks about. And those are things that we can apply in our home lives as well. So not only at work, but at home. And then the communication, he's really big on that too. All the communication training that he's done before. And so those are things that he has personally taken the time to train on himself, that he shares that with all of his staff members. And I think it is something that is easily overlooked and taken for granted sometimes. Because we do, like you said, we do apply these things in our home lives as well, in our personal lives. And I think these are like valuable assets that we would not have had access to if we didn't know Dr. Todd.
Absolutely.
So it's more than just a staff manual. Here's your job description. Here's your job duties. Now go do your job. Like he is genuinely invested in people as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
And our patients included, because I feel like he talks about all these things with our patients as well. So
Yes, I was just going to say, he's someone like I can say, since I work with him every day, we're side by side, like in the room with each other. He will spend genuine time with patients, whether it's someone who's just meeting for the first time or a patient that he has had for years. He will sit there and take time with them. He will talk with them if they have something going on in their personal life that they bring to him. I mean, that's like, you guys know, sometimes you're like, what's going on in there? Why is he taking so long? I'm like, he's talking like he's just there's somewhat, people, oftentimes our patients they'll bring things to him that they want his opinion on, they want his advice. They look at him as more than just, yeah, that's my chiropractor. They look at him as a friend, as a confidant, someone that they can trust with like medical opinions, personal opinions. I mean, the range is vast. So it is something that I get to witness on a daily basis that just also like adds to my appreciation for him. I mean, even on a personal level, last year when my mom was having some health issues, I confided in him and he immediately was like, get us in touch, like let's start a 3-way group chat. She can tell me what's going on, I'll give her advice. And then he would continue to check in with her, like not even prompted by me. So I'm just like, I appreciate that so much, so much. Cause it's on personal life with him and his patients, him and his parents, like he's just in his family. I mean, we all know like how much he loves his family, but he just truly cares about everyone in his life, whether it's someone that he's met once, maybe we'll never see again, or his team, his family. Yeah, he truly cares about everyone around him. So, yeah. Dani.
My turn.
Yeah.
Right. So I have told my backstory a couple of times, and just recently we did a podcast about slow to hire, quick to fire type of thing, and we told a little bit of my backstory. So initially I had applied for the office manager position in August of 2020, before Brandy had her baby. Yeah. They were looking for an office manager, and I had interviewed for that, and that's where I was sitting in my room talking to him for 2 hours. But I was in a position to where I could be a little bit picky. I was really enjoying my time at home with my kids. I moved out of the area, and so I really just wanted to find the perfect situation, and this required me to be in the office all the time, and I just really wasn't ready to do that after being at home with the kids for so long. So we decided it just wasn't going to work for that specific position, but he was like, I'm going to find something for you. And I'm like, okay, just give me a call, whatever. Yeah. Totally fine. So on a Sunday, Trey and I are sitting at this table, and I get a random text message at like 7:30 at night, and it's from an area code that I don't recognize.
Right,
I'm like,
he doesn't have an Idaho.
Yeah, he's got like the 505 still. And so I was like, who is this? And I read it, and it was this long message saying, hey, Dani, long time no talk, because it was from August to October. Long time no talk. So I was just thinking, I think this role would be amazing for you and great. And he described it, and I'm like, sign me up. And I think it was like 2 days later, I started. I had my contract signed. I was ready to go, which will be 2 years next Thursday.
Only 2 years?
Yeah.
God, it feels longer.
Well, that's what you said about yourself, too. So.
Yeah. Well, it's just like,
yeah,
the relationship you have with him just seems like you guys have been like friends for 10 plus years.
Yeah. That's he really is an easy person to connect with. Yes. And I've been doing this for 18 years, being in this chiropractic industry and working alongside other chiropractors. And with Dr. Todd, there's just a connection there that I feel like this is my home. You know, this is where I'm meant to be. It was really weird the way that everything played out. And then 2 months later, there was this spot, and then it just kind of evolved from there. And when Dr. Todd asked me to do something, I'm like, yep. Okay. Yeah. All right. You know, like, how are we going to handle that? How are we going to do this? You know, how can I help you if there's a new project coming up or something like that? It's so easy to do those things for him because the tasks may be tough. They may be hard. They may be difficult, but the end result is so worth it. Yeah. Being able to see his ideas come to life is amazing. Being able to see what he provides to patients in our office and the care that they receive and the results that they receive is tenfold the best thing about working in a chiropractic office, I feel. And so being a part of that really makes you feel valued, and Dr. Todd does a really good job at making sure that you are a valued team member. Yes. You're a part of it all. It's not just him. We can't do this without the team, is what he says. So I feel like we were all meant to be here for a reason. Yeah. And some days it's like, what the hell? But it's just that, you know, we all have those moments where it's just rough. Things don't go the way that we want them to in the office, or like, you know, we just feel like bad circumstance after bad circumstance, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But we all make it through together, and Dr. Todd always comes to us with solutions. So I feel like being able to get through it together with him is pretty easy.
Oh, so easy.
100%.
Once we put our attitudes and negative Nancy thoughts aside, Emily.
Listen, I've been better about that.
You have been better. But we all have those moments. But I would say the end result with Dr. Todd and truly, genuinely how he makes you feel as an individual, not as an employee, but as an individual, as a human, is worth it all in the end.
Yeah.
So I feel us being the 3 seasoned veterans there at the clinic, and we do work so closely with Dr. Todd. You know, not only in the clinic, but we do, you know, have our lives outside the clinic. That does involve Dr. Todd. And I think that's really important as well. And between the 4 of us, we all connect outside of the clinic as well. So I feel like we can speak on both sides when it comes to Dr. Todd, and all of us together. And
Literally, like, I don't know, I just popped in my head. So the week, because we talked about it, the week that I got married, my last day, I got married on a Saturday. That Tuesday was my last day at the clinic before I was like off to do wedding stuff. Driving home from work, my car engine blew up on the freeway.
I remember that.
And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And immediately, first of all, I sent a text like, oh, stuck on the side of the freeway, guys, you know, and he was like, are you okay? Do you need me to come get you? And I was like, no, it's fine. Austin's coming to get me, my now husband. But I had family in town. My husband and I, thankfully, we still had 2 cars, but my mom was with me. All of us were running a gazillion errands, and he was like, do you need a car? And he let me borrow his car for the entire week. And I've never, besides like family maybe offering that, still like begrudgingly like not wanting to offer something like that. Him, without a doubt, was like, come get it, you're fine. Have it as long as you need. Like if you need it past the week of the wedding, go for it. Like that was just, I mean, that's just a little snippet of one big piece of kindness. I mean, he's so kind on like a day-to-day, but that was monumental for me, and especially in my time of need. But that is like, without a doubt, a regular occurrence. He just goes above and beyond for the people that he cares about, that he loves. Even like I was saying earlier about, he goes above and beyond for people he doesn't even really know. He just wants people to succeed. He wants people to be healthy. He wants people to have good information, to, you know, keep them healthy for success, things like that. So yeah, we love him. He's just great.
We like it when his little eyes sparkle, because that means
Emily.
What?
No, I know, it's true.
Because like you can tell, like when he's in a good mood, like you can tell. I don't know where that was.
So I feel like, and I was gonna say, I feel like he's always in a good mood. Some days, like all of us, maybe he's not, like maybe something's going on, but the fun part is we all have the relationship with him that it's like, is everything okay?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I was up late working on the trailer
Yeah.
or something, you know?
He's like, I just
And I'm
didn't sleep well last night. I'm like, okay.
I feel you, and he's like, do you want to adjust patients? Kidding. But I'm like, yeah, I got this. So, but it's always like, it's just a fun, we're always able to make light of things, and no one's perfect, but at the end of the day, like we're all there for each other. And I feel like that's just the importance of being more than just like teammates and coworkers. It's more of a family, so it's amazing.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, Dr. Todd, we know that you're watching. We're talking about you in like third person as if you're not here, but honestly, this video was made for you, Dr. Todd. We wanted to let you know just how much we appreciate you, how much we value you, not only as our boss, but as our mentor, as our friend, first and foremost, I would say. And how much you have impacted our lives, which we talk about appreciation all the time, and we all need to be better about telling each other that we appreciate each other. But just to let you know that you have really made an impact on our lives, not only as employees, individuals, but I can personally speak for my family as well. You have been amazing with my family, my children, my husband, all of that stuff. So you definitely left an imprint on all of us. So Dr. Todd, this one is for you. We hope that 42 is the best one yet, and hopefully the best is still yet to come. But we are so excited and so happy that we get to celebrate this day with you. This is dedicated to you and all of our members and our patients and everybody else out there listening. If you can just leave a comment, little shout out for Dr. Todd, tell him happy birthday. Share your story about Dr. Todd with us as well. I think that'd be something really fun for him. It's like a virtual birthday card, okay?
Yes.
So if you guys can
This is the
leave,
best
you know,
way.
comments and stuff like that, I think that would be amazing. Let Dr. Todd know how much you appreciate him, what he's done for you. We'd love to hear those stories. He would love to hear those stories. So, signing off, Dr. Todd. Sorry we hijacked your podcast this week. I don't think you'll mind, but happy birthday. Yes. We appreciate you, and
Have a wonderful day.
yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Todd. Happy birthday. I just wanted to say that I very much appreciate everything that you've done for me in the last year and a half. Honestly, can't believe I've been working for you this long because it feels like it's been a lot longer than that. The relationship we've built over the last year and a half has been amazing, and I've never been more thankful to have a boss like you. Happy birthday, old man.
Happy birthday, Dr. Todd. I just wanted to thank you for, 2.5 years now that I've worked here, and just all the experience and knowledge that I've gained from working with you has been amazing. You're really great to work side by side with. I think of you more as a friend and a mentor than a boss, so I just really appreciate you, and I hope you have the best birthday ever. Thank you for everything.
Hey, Dr. Todd. Again, we're just super appreciative of everything that you've done for us. Thank you for the jobs that we all have, that we're able to work in this awesome clinic, everything that you've done for us, the trips that we get to go on to, just being able to have an awesome, substantial job. Thank you for everything that you've done and how you care for us, and you are always going above and beyond to help with us. So happy birthday. Hey, Dr. Todd, we're just super excited to be here, and thank you so much for everything that you've done. We just want to show our appreciation and just wish you a really happy birthday. So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!